You know, sometimes life is a constant spiral of moments where we either receive a boost or kind of just run out of fuel to barely keep ourselves going. It hardly feels like it's ever in between, doesn't it? But I think it's easy to overcome that obstacle. It's all about motivation. What if I said you no longer have to search for motivation once you realize it all comes from within? Now, hear me out. I know it sounds really cliche, but let me explain. I'm also a little bit hungry right now, and a protein shake will do at the moment, so let me just finish this juicy goodness and pour it in the cup real quick, and we'll get right to it. Bringing this thing here was actually a little frightening. It's filled to the brim, so every step it's like wobbling, like whoa, 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 and I'm really worried about spilling it, so let's take that first sip. That's really good. It's really good. Anyways, though, you guys are probably wondering what I mean about internal motivation and how to actually find it within yourself. A lot of the time, we kind of identify with external factors, even when it comes to our emotions. That's an external factor because the body is a vessel in which your mind is pretty much controlling. So when you think of it that way, anything outside of what's going on in your mind, even your thoughts in a way, because you're this like subconscious entity that's in your brain, and your brain is already this vessel that's powering another vessel in a way. I'm sure you guys understand what I'm saying because the brain is kind of a vessel to your subconscious, but the brain is also the tool to controlling the rest of your body. I guess it's kind of like the manual transmission in a car, if that's a good comparison. But anyways, though, that's besides the point. Once you understand this and you understand what external influences are, then you can find motivation internally, because when your mind is kind of just relying off of just whatever you see outside that's not coming from deep within, then your reliance is set on those outside factors being present, and they're not always going to be present. So when they're gone, your motivation is suddenly gone. And when you're in that state of trying to find motivation, like, oh, hey, that's really cool. I just read, say, Dune, for instance. That book is awesome, and it's finally coming to a movie on the screen. So that's going to be really cool. And that was a really ambitious book, and a lot of directors in the past have, failed that at bringing that onto the screen, the big screen. I don't know why I'm struggling to say that. Yeah, so even that of it in itself can just be like, wow, I'm motivated to pump out, making film, making movies, like, whatever there is to it. But yeah, like I said, those external factors aren't always going to be there. So when they disappear, or when they're gone, then you kind of keep searching for more, or you need to replenish that. And once you are in that state of just constantly searching, you're really just undermining the sheer fact of why. Like, why do you need this motivation, or why are you doing what you want to do? Like, let's say when it comes to YouTube, like right now, I'm really enjoying talking to you guys and teaching you guys on different topics and everything. And to me, it's a side passion. But more often than not, when I say I do YouTube videos and other people ask me, they're kind of like, oh, what about the money? Like, how's like that money? And well, that comes after they ask me what type of videos I make. But to be honest, though, it's like, yeah, I do wish I was, because that would allow me to live doing something I actually thoroughly enjoy. And I feel like that's kind of my life purpose in a way, to teach people and motivate others. But anyways, though, yeah, so people will ask about the money, and then that says a lot about other people, because when they're thinking about making videos, or how these guys, other big YouTubers like Matt Diavella, Captain Sinbad, people I look up to, PewDiePie even, make a lot of money doing it, they think it's all about the money, and that's where most people's minds are set at. Like, when you understand that it's not about the money and what you can gain from doing something, then you can find internal motivation. Like, for example, when it comes to working out, if you set goals rather than I want my body to look good, set goals that you want to do a certain move. If you're into calisthenics, you want to do a reverse lever, set that as a goal, you know, because once you get to that point, your body's naturally going to follow with that, and then you're going to look great. But now you're setting a motivation because you just want to do it because you personally find that move to be really, really, really cool. And once you have that established, your internal motivation is going to be way stronger than external motivation, because you can sit around with your friends, you know, and you can discuss this new business, this new game plan, this new, like, whatever there is, you know, to discuss and get extremely motivated. But you're going to realize that, like, rush of motivation is maybe going to last you towards, like, the end of the night, but then the next day it may still be present and may not. So when you're thinking that you just really, really strongly desire something, that's when it's going to be strongest, because you're wanting to do something, whatever it may be, working out, making a movie, making videos like I'm doing, working on a project, starting a business, anything that it may be. It has to stem from your desire to want it and your desire to give something from it, you know? So if you enter a business with the mentality of like, all right, I'm going to be self-employed and I'm going to make, you know, some profits, then you're setting your mind in the wrong direction, and you're probably going to not necessarily always fail, but I mean, if you're way more focused on the income aspect rather than the deliverance and the experience of that, of the business, then, you know, you're just going to collapse, and it's gonna be like, oh, you know, like, I'm not getting anywhere with this. Like, why are my profits only like $30,000 a year when they should be up here? Because you're not focusing on the deliverance of whatever it is on that business. I know I'm kind of being a little bit vague with some of the things I'm talking about, but I'm just trying to show you guys that internal motivation can be applied to many things. That's why I'm being a little bit vague. So when I'm saying that thing, I really mean whatever it is you're trying to get motivation to. But yeah, once that's established, you have to ask, like, figure out why you want to do something. And once you have that why, like, solidified in your head, then that's it. You're set. You have it established, and you know why you want to do something, and your desire is going to come internally to want to experience that. Like, I have a friend that really wants to buy a Lamborghini because he likes Lamborghinis, but guess like what? I think, yeah, that's a little bit generic, but at the same time, though, he's not doing it for to show off. He's not doing it because he just wants to, like, show people he has money. He genuinely does it because he just really likes that car and he just does not care. And that is a little bit of a rare thing to see, as cliche as a Lamborghini can be, you know? That's what it comes down to. Don't think about what you can get out of something or other people or other objects or really anything tangible that's there for you to grasp on. Because once you have your motivation in an intangible way established from your mind and it's coming internally, then you're set. You know, many other people will say, like, once they set personal goals and just strive for things they want to do regardless of income, progress, money, or just any of those factors, and they get a lot farther because they are pushing themselves for their own reasons. They specifically want to do something with their project, not because they want to see results necessarily, but because they're doing it for themselves. For instance, I covered in one of my other videos that I was writing a Bulgarian language book, but it's purely just for myself. And yeah, I'm about like 70 to 80 pages in, and for me, I was writing it so I can always have a little pocket thing or not a pocket book per se because it's bigger than that, but a journal to carry around me so I never forget the language and I can always remember it. Because I looked up Bulgarian for Dummies books because I'm Bulgarian. I probably should have said that first, but I looked those up and it didn't exist, so I just simply decided to create my own for myself. But when I show other people and friends and whoever, family members even, they're all like, you should publish that, you should do that, you should publish it. And you know, quite frankly, I was thinking of doing it if it wasn't for the fact that all the information on there would have been like borderline plagiarism, so I'm not trying to do that and say that I am the person that created all of this. I mean, I could list sources and whatnot, but anyway, that's besides the point. I'm basically saying it's like for me and I don't feel like doing that, but that's the thing though. Like, I literally just started making something just for myself, and I had the motivation because I wanted to have that knowledge just for myself, and that led to potentially something I could just publish if I try to put my own information and my own wording in there from like myself, to the point where other people were even telling me to do that. So all of that just came from within, and that's internal motivation. So Basically, in conclusion, when you have internal motivation, you can really establish like anything, but you have to figure out why first. And one of the good exercises is this exercise called 7 layers or 7 levels deep. It essentially get someone else to ask you why you want to do something. Like, let me give you an example. Let's say I want to be self-employed, right? I will tell the other person I want to be self-employed. They'll start off by saying, why do you want to be self-employed? And then I will give my answer. And like, let's say because I desire freedom or I want to experience more in life. And then they'll say, oh, why do you want to experience more in life? Or why do you desire freedom? You know, it's that type of thing where you get deeper and deeper and deeper, but you only do it 7 times until you have an established why at the very end for what you're doing. And that's a really powerful exercise. So that can establish your reasoning for what you want, and it can bring you to your internal motivation because you truly know why you're doing something. And generally it leads to desiring an aspect of whatever act you're trying to get motivation for, whether it be drawing, you know, playing the guitar, music, anything else that can give you satisfaction and that, you know, you can get blocks from and be difficult to find motivation for again. External factors are really, really, really good at motivating you as well, but they won't last forever, and it can push you to get internal motivation too. So don't want to diss them like completely, because like you could see someone do a really cool gymnastics move, and then you could be like, oh, wow, you know, I really want to do that. That guy's awesome. And then that contributes to your internal motivation. But the rest of it is internal, not that guy specifically or not these other dudes you're seeing like do moves all the time. But hey, it can be applied to different cases, you know, because I'll definitely go outside myself and I'll see these guys doing calisthenics moves because I'm really into calisthenics personally. And I find it really awesome, and that is a bit of a motivation for me. However, I do find it way more awesome that you can actually perform the move yourself. So once you reach that level and you have that desire, you're like, whoa, you know, your mind is like opened up even more. But yeah, you guys get what I'm trying to say. Anyways, though, if you really enjoyed the talk and you found this video helpful, please like leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe, comment down below. Everything honestly helps me out, especially because I'm trying to get bigger on this channel, and I really appreciate the support I've been receiving so far from you guys. Like, we're at what, like 650 subscribers? It's insane, and I think that is awesome, honestly. So really, really, really thank you. And if there's any suggestions, any constructive criticism you guys want to give me, please let me know as well. I'm still experimenting with every single one of my videos. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys being there. This thing's really good. If you wonder what I put in here, by the way, it was almond milk, obviously banana, cocoa powder, and whey protein powder. And yes, protein shakes are really arguable in the grand scheme of things, but I find it convenient and it results in a tasty beverage, but you know. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one.